Offsides.
Hey, welcome to another week of Offsides. What's up, fellas? How are you?
Great, man.
I feel good. Yeah.
This thing started.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about college football. We want to start with the rankings. And let's start with,
my number one Georgia
We're getting-
Bulldogs.
well, we're getting close to the playoffs.
Georgia.
Georgia
Bulldogs.
We're getting close to the playoffs.
Yeah, we're getting close to the playoffs.
And so right now we got Georgia, Alabama 9-1, Cincinnati 10-0, Oregon 9-1, OSU 9-1,
Where's
Notre
Ohio
Dame
State?
9-1. Ohio State's
Exactly.
fifth.
It's
Oh, should
So,
be fourth. They're better than Cincinnati.
but there's a lot of 9-1
You
teams.
just had to do it. You're going to start already.
Yeah.
Right? Start that blasphemy stuff.
Cincinnati's the only 10-0 team that's, the rest of them are 9-1.
Here's
And
my
Georgia's
thing.
10-0.
Here's my thing about the college rankings. I mean, it can go
They don't
so
matter,
much.
yeah,
it goes so
yeah.
much. So now my thing is the playoffs. Like me personally, I feel like instead of having 4 teams, they should at least go to like 6 to 8 teams to go into the playoffs and to the average out. Because I'm being honest with you, it's the same teams. It's the same teams year in and year out. Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, or whatever. Ohio State, Notre Dame. But my thing is if you go 8 to 6 teams, you add more other teams to it, and I just feel like you get something different.
Yeah, but do you break them down into weeks? Like, so now you're taking the playoffs and you're going a couple weeks with it, probably.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Multiple, yeah.
Absolutely. It'll be more me.
I think
it'll be more interesting.
More money.
More money. It'll be more interesting too.
Yeah. But I think mainly more money if they did that. I mean, everybody would make more money. Athletic directors and everybody else would make more money, yeah. I mean, if you broke it down in the top 10, Ole Miss 8-2 at number 10. The rest of them are 9-1. And then 2 10-0s being Cincinnati and Georgia.
But you take a couple more other teams and add and give them the chance to compete for a national championship.
Like who? Some of these lower
teams. Instead of the same teams over and over. Like, for example, the Bearcats, I think they should have a chance.
Which one's the Bearcats?
Cincinnati.
Well, for sure, they're going to get their chance, aren't they?
They're going to get their chance.
Yeah. Now, do you really honestly think, though, the Bearcats can, beat Georgia or have any?
I don't necessarily say they ain't. No. They ain't going to beat Georgia. But I feel the thing is the opportunity to just let them compete. I feel like they'll compete, but, I mean, ain't too many teams going to beat Georgia. No. I mean, we talking about the Bulldogs here.
But you never know. You never know.
Upsets happen.
You never know.
But that's
on
tough.
this list, who can beat Georgia? Alabama,
Nobody.
Cincinnati, Oregon.
Alabama's the
Who's
only
got the
one.
best chance? Alabama.
Bama. I think Ohio State can give them a run for their money too.
Ohio State might be able
to. I'm just saying it's any given Saturday, but Bama is really the closest team that really can beat the Bulldogs.
Yeah. My Wisconsin Badgers are down in the 19th area.
Yeah, they are.
7-3.
Yeah, they are a discussion. Sorry, Kevin. They are a discussion, Kevin.
I like that idea, But my only thing with college football is there's so much money involved with it,
Absolutely.
And if you broke it down that way, it would mean a lot more for all the teams involved.
It would be way more interesting just the same 4 teams if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree.
I think go 6 to 8 teams and give other teams opportunity to compete, to play in it. It's something different. I mean, mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm glad. At least I'm glad because I grew up where it was only bowl games, and we never had when I grew up, we never had a championship.
Nah.
So
it wasn't playoffs. Wasn't even back then.
No, when I grew up, I'm an old man.
They just made the playoffs. Just not a couple years ago.
Not that long ago, right? Yeah. And so, when I grew up, you got a bowl, and then you're over. And then there was always this debate on who was the best. There was always this debate.
Yeah.
And now we settle that. At least we settle that debate with a championship game. I'm grateful for that. At least I'm grateful for that because that got annoying when I was growing up.
Absolutely.
It got so annoying. All right, we had some trades in the NFL. You want to talk about that? Odell, how did he do?
All right, hear me out. Odell Beckham went to the Rams. Had his debut last night, Monday Night Football.
And?
Niners-Rams.
And?
When I tell you, the young man named Deebo Samuel is one of the best receivers in the league, he does not get enough credit. He gets way less credit than he deserves. And I do believe...
Deebo did not have a good game, though.
Who?
Deebo Samuel.
Who? What?
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you wrong. You off.
Am I?
5 receptions, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 rushes, 57 yards.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Wait, no. All right.
So,
I got it wrong.
you got the wrong guy. You know who had a bad game last night?
Odell. Odell did.
I don't necessarily say he had a bad game. This is his first day.
Well, no, because here's the thing with the Rams. The Rams, they run a tempo offense. They're a tempo team. But OBJ does not know the plays yet. It's his first 3 days in LA.
So, therefore, you can't say you had a bad game.
Well, it's not his fault, obviously. He doesn't know the playbook. So, the Rams can't run their stuff because they need to tell OBJ, like, every time in the huddle, Stafford had to tell OBJ what the play was. The Rams don't do huddle, like, at all. Ever since Sean McVay was in LA, they don't huddle. All they do is they run tempo offense.
Let's get to the point.
Kind of like good old high school football.
We're talking about the Rams here. The Rams is arguably on paper the best team in the NFL. I mean, you're looking up, man.
Yeah,
if
Rams,
you ask me,
Von Miller.
they just added Von Miller and Donald. They both combined over 100-some sacks in their career.
Von Miller.
So you got to understand, you got Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Best corner.
The best
Hall
corner.
of Famer.
So my thing, listen. You can say what you want to say. The Rams still, it's a runner.
Yes.
But my thing is, the debut for Von Miller, it went okay, not so well, but like again, it goes back into the OBJ. It's the first time going, getting used to the new Corrado in the playbook. So the thing is, I'm curious to see what the Rams going to do.
I agree.
Well, Troy Aikman came out and said he feels Stafford was pressured in that game to target Odell, and that he had a long route, and Odell kind of faded on their route.
So,
and Odell, did you see that play?
Odell ran a little.
And he was double covered.
He ran a corner.
And Stafford thought he has to throw to him.
Yeah. So.
And he got picked.
He ran a little seam.
And he gave up on the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ran a seam up the hash, and OBJ was covered, and he thought he kind of just stopped running the route.
Stopped.
He probably like 25, 30 yards downfield.
Right.
And Stafford was under
really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that play.
Yeah, it was double coverage, and clearly Stafford.
Double coverage, and he gave up on the route, and OBJ was like, what? Like, the ball was in the air because Stafford just literally chucked it. By the way,
Normally Stafford does. He was the same thing he was
chucked
doing.
it.
He don't got Calvin Johnson out there.
He chucked it downfield to OBJ, getting too excited, and the ball was picked off by Jimmy Ward, who had a phenomenal game and came back from an injury. He actually had 2 picks and a pick 6.
Actually,
so he had a pick, and here's the thing. Jimmy Ward got the pick. OBJ rocked him to the ground. And then
Well, Leo, do you think Aikman's right that Stafford feels pressure to throw to Odell?
Not like in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield, because Baker Mayfield felt forced. I think Stafford got, I'd say, a little bit too excited. I'd say.
Me personally, I'm gonna tell you. This is my opinion. Stafford did the same thing when he was at Detroit. When he had Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Stafford would literally, when he don't have to put himself in the scramble, just to throw it, just to chunk it.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. I've seen it on
Calvin Johnson, one of the best
so
receivers
you got to
of all
think,
time.
you don't have Calvin out there.
Yeah.
You don't have 6'6",
And
6'7".
Stafford threw a pick 6.
And so like it goes back. I can feel like Stafford got a little excited.
Yeah.
Oh, I got OBJ. Let me see what he can do. Let me throw it up. But you got to understand, OBJ is not that type of receiver. He can do it, but he's not a Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, my thing is, let's talk about the 49ers defense.
Oh, I want to say, I was talking
about
about
defense is like really just shut the Rams out.
They did.
Let's talk about Jimmy Ward.
Hands down.
Jimmy Ward.
Jimmy Ward had a great game.
Pick 6 and a
Pick
six.
6, and what he had like.
And that pick on Odell. That was the Odell play.
Well, let's talk about.
Had a great game.
Let's just talk about some of these trades really quick. We had Odell. He had Le'Veon Bell.
Well, he got cut.
Well, I know. That's not what I want to talk about, Le'Veon Bell being cut,
because
I want to talk a little bit about Le'Veon Bell for a second, just because that guy was awesome, and I want to know.
Yeah, he was beyond
that guy
awesome.
was awesome.
He was one of the
He was one of the
best running backs in the league.
But he sat out 2018, the entire season, and then now he's out of the NFL. Number one, is he ever going to come back? Number two,
yes,
is he done for good? And number two, did that hurt him sitting out?
I'm gonna be honest. What hurt him was when he was at Pittsburgh Steelers.
One of the best.
He was the best running back in the league at that point of time.
Right.
For him to sit out with the Steelers, I feel like it came back and bit him in the butt. I came back and said, I felt like it bit him in the ass.
I think so.
And he wanted the money, which everybody does. They sit out because they want the money. So they're like, man, listen, I'm not going until you pay me. I really feel like at what he was doing in this Pittsburgh Steelers, he could have just chilled.
Yeah.
He could just chill.
Yeah.
And what happened is he left out. I think it came back and bit him. The whole season. So you gotta understand that's a lot. When you miss a whole season, like being a football player, you gotta like when you're not playing, you gotta get back used to it. Your body gotta get used to hitting again. Your body gotta get used to the speed and stuff like that. That's tough on a football player.
It's like Ricky Williams did that same thing. You know, Ricky Williams was a great player like that, and then he sat out for his season or something.
Totally
like
different
that.
Ricky when he came back, right?
Totally different.
I know.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, and then Von Miller trade. You already mentioned that. That's a huge thing for the Rams.
But yeah, that's
deal.
more of like that's a long-term thing for them in the playoffs because once Steelers the playbook, that's going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm just happy about the Rams head coach. They're not they just going all in. They don't care. They ain't worried about no cap.
They want to win.
They want to win this year.
They trying to go in. They put their team together, and we like, hey man, listen, we going all in. We putting all the money on the table. Listen, we betting all our chips, and we going for this. We going for the Super Bowl. We going for that trophy.
They're going for it.
They trying to go for the Lombardi. That's their goal, and they doing everything they can.
Rams have a bye week this week, so they'll
get healed up.
OBJ will have the playbook.
And he's going to look at the playbook. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go into college real quick, and then we'll get into the 49ers, later on in the program. Michigan, Penn State. Michigan.
That was a great game.
Yeah, Michigan won.
Michigan won, but McMara and Wilson connected on the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I just like to talk about the tight end. What's his name? Eric All, I want to say. He had a critical touchdown going in late in the game. That really kind of put Michigan over the top and sealed the deal. And on top of that, Olin Haskin added another 100 yards on the ground. So Michigan really took over that game. Michigan took over the game, and Penn State, I'm just being honest, me personally, it was a defensive game. Both teams were balls out to the wall.
Penn State was sacked 7 times.
I know. It's just Michigan, on the other hand, had a more solid offense than Penn State.
Yeah. They had 217, Cade McNamara had 217 yards. Hassan had 3 TDs, right? Or was it Hassan Haskins? Yeah, 156 yards.
Yeah.
No, McNamara had 3 TDs, yeah.
Had 3. He had 2 to Wilson and 1 to the tight end.
Yeah.
Eric All.
He looked good. And Penn State is a darn good team.
Man,
really
Penn State defense is really arguably one of the best
sad
defenses.
that Penn State lost, to be honest. I had so much faith in them, but if you lose to Michigan,
I did too.
I
did too.
That's another
If
rivalry.
you lose to Michigan, you're out of the conversation, in my opinion.
To
Michigan, come on.
Penn State's out. Yeah.
That's
a huge loss.
Michigan is not a slouch. Not as like
Of
a
course,
slouch
so
of
not
what
like
it
it's
is.
not like playing,
we're talking about Michigan, who's now at number 8. They're 9-1. What do they do in the playoffs? They're not good enough to.
They could make some noise. I don't see them.
That's what I'm saying. They're a solid team. They can make a lot of noise.
Yeah, but if you ask anyone in the
room, they beat Ohio State.
No, they beat Ohio
don't.
State. I mean, as a rivalry game, that big rivalry game, you never know.
Oh,
Because some people
true.
just live thrilled for the rivalry.
Yeah.
Like, for example, let's say Alabama and Auburn. Auburn might lose all those games, but when the Roll Tide come to town, they play Alabama harder than any other team they play with.
You'll see Michigan, Ohio State too, won't you? Yeah, you'll see that.
It's a rivalry. I think it's got to happen.
That's got to happen for sure. Well, that was a big win for Michigan and Penn State. Penn State's a great team. Unfortunately, couldn't pull it off. But, that was a good game. Excellent game. Baylor 27, Oklahoma 14. Big upset. Baylor was 13. Oklahoma was ranked 8.
All I'm going to say is Jerry Bohannon.
Yeah, Bohannon.
Jerry Bohannon took over that game.
Yeah, he did.
And he was dominant. He put 1 in the air, 2 on the ground. He was really he just took over the game. Caleb,
Caleb had 146
Caleb Williams.
yards.
But he lost the ball. He fumbled twice?
2 interceptions.
2 interceptions.
Yeah.
And a fumble, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the turnover margin, you already know Baylor's going to win.
Well, that's exactly right.
They were chanting, by the way, "We want Spencer. We want."
They
Spencer.
was chanting that.
Who was chanting
Wow,
this?
they was chanting.
Yes.
We want Spencer.
Yes.
Are you serious right
I
now?
told you didn't hate Spencer. I hate Spencer.
Man, listen. Spencer's
See?
straight.
I know.
Spencer's straight. But is he a? Yeah, he got tendencies. He does. But my thing is this: the kid, he's all right.
We're gonna have to bleep that
But
out.
listen, we ain't gotta beep nothing. No.
don't have to
Listen,
beep anything.
I'm just gonna call it like it is. a pair of
Yeah.
you know, he's.
You're making the
it's what it
editor's
is.
job so much harder.
I'm not.
than it is.
It's what I don't. Hey, listen, I don't
who's
care.
Spencer?
I'm gonna call it like it is. Spencer Rattler. The
From
way he carried,
Oklahoma?
the way he conducted himself when he lost the job, shows everything, and his teammates automatically says it anyway.
Yes, I agree.
His teammates talks a lot.
You can't
talks
go
bad
into
about
college like that. Like high school and college is completely different. That's the thing. Like it's just a different environment, and you can't go in with that mopey attitude because you didn't get what you want. It's just not gonna work.
everything was given to him, so he felt like, well, I'm the #1 pocket passer, whatever the case. He was ranked coming out of high school, and a lot of these rankings can mess with a lot of kids' egos. You know,
Yeah.
me personally, I don't think stars mean anything because I played against a lot of guys that had those stars that really didn't turn out to be nothing to me. I'm like, you
Yeah.
5-star?
Yeah.
You ain't really no 5-star to me.
Right.
I was a 2.
you're shocked.
I was like a 2 or 3 coming out
But
of
you
high
were
school.
shocked at sometimes they weren't living up to their.
No, I mean, sometimes it's political. Sometimes it's
That's
deep
right.
because the school
Yeah.
they go to. Like for example, if you go to a modern day or IMG, you're gonna hold weight. Now,
Right.
granted, if you go to IMG, you're gonna have something to bring with you, a modern day John Bosco or something, etc. But
Yeah.
still, like
Yeah.
if you get to a regular Joe Smuck or whatever that's not on the radar,
What's
they can really be better than the 5 stars.
That's
You
right.
just don't know about that kid.
A lot of these guys in the pros, they do come from those, you know,
Yeah.
they take that into consideration if a guy's hungry or not, and if the guy can play hungry, you know.
My opinion, if you're a top athlete or top rank at your position coming out of high school, you automatically got the league bound stamped on you.
If you're a top athlete in a big
If
school,
you is a big, no, not big school, hear me out, follow me. If you're a top athlete, a recruit coming out of high school, top 10 in your position, top 5, whatever the case may be, and you make a little noise in college, you're going to automatically have a shot to the league, period. I've seen it time and time again.
yeah,
Just like Devin
Right.
Tompkins.
Just like for example, we can go for Clowney.
yeah.
First, #1 guy in high school, come at #1 pick overall. Let's talk about the guy in Oregon. When he come out, he might be
Herbert.
the #1 pick.
You
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
What about the Ohio State defensive end who went #1?
yeah, yeah.
It's stamped. It's stamped on it.
Right, right.
All right.
But yeah, my man Devin, top receiver in college football as of right now to this day.
Devin who?
Tompkins,
From?
Fort Myers, Florida.
He
Well,
came from here.
He's from here, Dunbar High School graduate. The kid, listen, working with this kid, the kid is a hungry lion. And it makes it so bad. He haven't even
What
played
grade is
he's Devin is I think a junior senior, but he haven't even played his best football yet.
Yeah.
Like what he's doing now, he haven't played his best football yet. He's a momentum player.
Where's he playing now?
Utah State.
As a perfect describe.
Are they ranked? They were ranked, right?
They're not ranked.
No.
They're not
Utah
ranked.
State.
Utah State.
And this kid has got talent.
Talent ain't the word he got.
Yeah.
He remarkable, man.
Is he?
Yeah.
So he's got how many more
Remarkable.
years in college?
I think this is senior.
Well, I
year.
think
Yeah.
he's gonna go to the
Either
draft. He's gonna go
senior
for the
or
draft.
we don't know yet.
Have you seen him
We
play?
don't know. He's the most receiving yards in
We
college
don't know.
football.
I mean, he got to make that decision on his own. He got to talk it over. He got to see his stock. And one thing I do know, he's gonna run fast and he's gonna jump high.
And the pros, you say, know him. They know who he is and they look at
Who
him.
wouldn't? He's the #1 receiver in the nation.
Is he?
Everybody
Yeah.
knows him.
Oh, yeah.
He's leading all college football.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Wow.
he's the most dynamic right now, the most dynamic receiver right now.
Wow. Why did he go to such a small school?
Because coming out of high
That's
school,
what
I
guys
mean,
do
again,
sometimes,
like
yeah.
such a small school, he's a smaller
But
guy.
Dunbar's a huge school. I mean,
Dunbar's not a huge school. Dunbar got a lot of athletes.
they got a lot of good athletes.
I mean, it's inner city kids. There's a powerhouse inner city school.
Oh.
There's a lot of kids that is athletic in Dunbar.
So
You
why
know,
did he go to
It's just D1s walking in the hallways.
yeah.
You can see a kid's size. You never seen him play ball, but you get a 200-pound guy, 300-pound kid. He's playing on the basketball court. He's dribbling the ball like he's a point guard. That's what you get at Dunbar High School and Lehigh High School.
really good?
I mean, yeah, it's kids that you see that bigger kids that just don't come out. You might see, and then the kids that are out, they athletic. Like the offensive lineman can run with the skill guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
So
you
why
get at
did
Dunbar High
this
School.
particular guy choose that?
It ain't about his choice. It's about he had to go with his whatever his options he had.
Yeah.
Coming out of high school, he wasn't a big time recruit
I
like
see.
a Jay Sean Jones, a
Right.
Joe Wilkins, and stuff like that. I think Devin was like a 2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken.
That's still good,
He's
though.
he's a smaller guy. You got to think. Everybody go about statistics and
How tall is
measurables. 5'8",
Oh, he's small. Yeah.
5'8". So you got to think measurables.
He's fast. I bet.
No, he's fast. That's a word.
You know who else
He's
is
literally-
fast?
he's
You know who
literally
else is
4'3",
5'8"?
4'2" guy.
Who I'm playing this Friday? Oh.
What's that?
Said you knew who else is fast.
Don't compare that kid.
I'm gonna.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna.
We're not going on. We have one
Don't
more.
do that.
Xavier Townsend.
And then listen, we're not gonna even do that.
We have been watching
Listen,
so much film
listen,
on him
listen,
because we
listen.
need to.
Don't ever compare him to no Devin. Not that type of speed. Xavier been a dynamic kid since Papa won him when he played with the Colts. But you can't compare him to no Devin. That's a whole totally different ball game. I'm picking Benjamin over him any day.
Anthony Benjamin. Who's
Oh
that?
yeah, man. It's another Dunbar kid.
Another Dunbar kid.
It's just talent. They just loaded with talent, man. That's what
Dunbar,
it is.
yeah.
Dunbar just loaded with
You know,
talent.
Dunbar is a high school there are other Dunbars. There's Dunbar in Washington D.C.
Yeah, no, they
And
was
that
good at
has
one
a
point.
great basketball program.
They was one time good at football too. It really has been.
Yeah.
My boy Really has been went to Illinois.
Yeah.
I played with him at the Bucks. Yeah.
But how many Dunbars are there?
Me personally, where there's a
Are they a chain
urban,
or something? Or
is there
why do
wherever?
they call them Dunbar?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But wherever is an urban community, I think it's a Dunbar.
There's a Dunbar, right?
It's a Dunbar, man. It's a Martin Luther King Street. I mean, that's what it is.
I'd like to know how many Dunbar. There's a lot of Dunbar, and they got great athletic programs.
Man, I think any school, inner city, it's gonna produce great athletes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at us. We could produce the #1 cornerback of all time, Deion Sanders. I mean, you got Hall of Famers like Edrin James. I mean,
Yeah.
you got Ernest Graham, you got Phillips, and you got Sammy Watkins and stuff like that.
They
And
all
it's
came
and it's still going. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still going. You got Jamie German, still to this day, Ray Lewis still talks about him. Where he was the #1 overall player in high school.
In Dunbar?
No, here.
Oh, here in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
Fort Myers is they definitely have had.
It's
some
like
players.
gumbo. I keep telling
Sanders?
people. No.
Deion Sanders was from.
Yeah, he's born and raised here. You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's born and raised here.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, with the North Fort Myers High School.
I did not know
Played
that.
with the Fort Myers Rebels.
You're kidding.
No, I'm
Yeah,
for
I think
real.
he
I'm
was
serious.
one of the best of all time.
I'm serious.
That's really cool. I didn't know that. All right, Rams 49ers. Now you can talk about your Rams or your 49ers defense.
Man, I'm just talking about Deebo Samuel. The stuff he was just doing, just catching the ball across the middle, just
97
breaking tackles.
across the
and
middle.
just- he's the
he
most
breaks so many
underrated.
tackles. He's so good. He's
97 yards, 1 TD.
He's the most underrated. I think he's the most
and then he
underrated
got a
receiver.
rushing.
Rookie?
He got a rushing touchdown too.
How many years in the NFL?
I think it's his third year, fourth.
year. Right.
But he's arguably probably is the top dog, one of the top
Defense
dogs.
stepped up big time, stopping that offense. But
The 49ers led on all categories except for passing and penalties.
Yeah.
But they led every single category with the Rams.
Rams had no chance, I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
49ers came out, ran physical, and just played physical, man.
By the way, Garoppolo only had 182 yards and he had 2 TDs, but
He
didn't
just
throw.
had one thing. Let's nickel and diamond with Debo. Debo, get the ball in your hands and do your thing. That's all, man.
Exactly.
And
Eli
that's what he
Mitchell,
did.
he did pretty good. He had 91 yards.
Who?
Eli Mitchell?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eli Mitchell did great. But
Yeah.
who took the show with Debo Samuel.
No, he did.
He took the show.
And, but, so what does this say about the 49ers? I mean, is that
I
a
don't
fluke?
know.
Or,
I
you know?
don't see. I don't know. That's a good question. Because they're so inconsistent. I feel like this year. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. What does this say about the 49ers? You take down the Rams.
Like that.
You
yeah.
took down the Rams.
I was thinking about that last night. It's like you just took
That's
down.
a big deal.
Well, also going to be a momentum shifter, too, as well.
I want to say that momentum shifter.
It can be a momentum shifter
For
for
the 49ers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
All it takes is one game or a couple games to get your spark.
I just don't think Garoppolo.
Get your spark. Like who?
Like who?
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Let's talk about that.
As long as you don't say Baker Mayfield, we good.
Oh, Baker Mayfield.
Do you want to talk about your team?
All right.
Let's not
Hey,
talk.
you
All
say
right, hold
Baker,
on.
we good.
Hold on,
As long as you don't
All
say
right, let me
Baker, kid, we
explain.
all
Let me
right.
You want to
explain.
say
Let me
one
explain.
thing about
Explain
your
away. There's
team?
nothing
Let me
you can
explain.
explain, man.
Let me explain.
Nothing you can explain about that.
Dear Baker Mayfield, okay?
Dear Baker Mayfield.
Let's hear this. Let's hear this.
You have been inconsistent for 3 years now. Okay?
It's just directly to Baker
Okay.
Mayfield.
I love you, but you cannot keep doing
No, he
this
didn't
to
say-
my heart.
He didn't say he loved him, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Well-
I think he needs to be
You were very depressed. on
he needs to
Sunday.
be traded. I'm gonna say it.
Oh,
I'm gonna
come
say
on.
It.
You'd
You
never
know
do
why?
that.
You know why?
You can't trade
He's
Baker
not the
Mayfield.
franchise. He's been hot and cold since he got into the league.
Oh, you're terrible. Turning your back on Baker.
Yes, I am. I've been having so much faith in him for the past 3 years, but he gives me countless heartbreaks on Sundays. What do you want me to do?
You get depressed.
Hey, what you want him to get you something for Valentine's? So there's no Valentine's gift for him, man. That's about the February.
Let's talk about the Chiefs.
Now let's talk about the Panthers and the Cardinals.
You broke my man heart, Baker. Poor Baker.
That was tough.
Would be ashamed
that was
of
tough.
yourself.
That was tough. It was tough. They did not look good at all.
At all. Baker didn't look good at all.
Not at all.
But you know one thing though, Leo? I'm gonna tell you something, kid. I would never go against Lamar Jackson for that.
Oh my, here we go. He just lost to the Dolphins though. He just lost to the Boo Boo Buns Dolphins.
I don't care if he look good or not.
What happened?
I don't care if he look good or not.
He lost to the Dolphins.
Listen, that's fine. I mean, Dolphins can beat plenty of teams.
happened?
I don't care. I ain't
What
listen,
happened?
I'm not going against the grain. I don't care what you say.
He lost
to
the Dolphins.
How he lost?
What happened?
I thought it was a team sport last
6
time I
to
checked.
9 in the fourth quarter.
6 to 9.
That is pathetic. That's your MVP?
No, I ain't saying that's my MVP.
That's your MVP, right?
I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that.
Listen
But
to
he's
me.
way
Listen
better
to
than
me.
Baker Mayfield.
Listen to me.
He's better than Baker.
You got dotted up by the Dolphins.
He's got.
Yeah.
But
got-
listen,
Oh.
I'd rather get dotted up than the Dolphins than have somebody turn their back on me.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
Shoot, what are you talking about, kid? Shoot, he's way better than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield can't hold his crotch in a cold day in hell.
But what happened to Lamar? Like, he did not look good.
I mean, I don't know.
That's the Dolphins.
It's the same thing that
Sammy
happened to Lamar.
Watkins fumbled for a touchdown.
Listen, it's the same thing that happened to Baker Mayfield. He didn't look good.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I mean, we can talk about it. A lot of it just one of those weeks. I mean, what you wanted to say? A lot of people don't look good. Hey.
Are the Dolphins better than we thought?
No.
No, get out of here. Oh, no.
They took down the Ravens.
Hey, listen, they took down the mighty Ravens, man.
Yeah.
I get you.
But let's talk about the Panthers Cardinals. Cam Newton's return to football. Unbelievable. He scored a touchdown.
I'm back.
I'm back. Pretty cool.
Oh, boy, say, I'm back.
I'm back. Is he back?
That was an epic moment.
We'll see.
It was.
Hey,
That was
hey.
an epic moment. And it timed up perfectly, though.
It did, yeah.
It was so perfect.
It was right on
Hey,
his.
if only he was at home, that would have been crazy. Can you imagine?
perfect.
But do you think he's back, Leo, Cam Newton? Are they going to start him next
With
week?
the weapons he has, absolutely. Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, yeah.
So do the Panthers start him next week?
Yes, they came out and said he's getting most of the practice.
I don't know if this is gonna start, but
Yes,
I think
he's
he's
gonna
gonna
start.
get more playing time. But
Yeah.
me personally, he moved the way he was just controlling the offense was way better than he was. He felt so comfortable in the
Yeah.
offensive scheme in
Well,
the
it's his
Panthers
old
when he
team.
was with the Patriots. And then on top of that, you got one of the best running backs behind you.
McCaffrey.
Woo! 95 yards he had on that
Hold
game.
on now, wait. Off 13 rushes.
Yeah,
Also adding 10 receptions for 65 more yards.
yeah.
He's
McCaffrey's great.
he's an all-purpose back.
Yeah, he's great. He's
Hey,
great.
hey, real quick. Just want to get this out here. He's not better than Chubb, though.
He's better
Oh.
than Chubb.
Oh my
McCaffrey?
God! Are you
Heck
joking
yeah,
right now?
Chubb can't get out
Chubb-
the backfield. Are
Chubb
you
is
serious?
Chubb is the best running back in the league right now.
No, he ain't.
Oh yes, he is.
Not to me.
Absolutely.
No, he
I
ain't.
don't
No,
know. I don't know.
he not. If
Absolutely.
you want to run down here, you can run down here. all
He's
you
the
want to.
backbone of a franchise. What do you mean?
What are you talking about? Did you
Chubb
just hear?
and
Did you
McCaffrey,
hear?
I
Did you
don't know.
hear? Or is Nick Chubb getting 10 receptions out the backfield? And also put
That's
almost
not
close
part
to
of the
no. It ain't about
That's
part
not
of
part of the
It
scheme.
ain't because he's not his skill set, kid. That's not
He
his
can
skill
catch if
set.
he wanted
He
to.
can catch. Well, obviously, if they drafted him, they knew he can catch. They would have been catching. Let him catch it already.
You know what they can do though?
Obviously, they
can
know
run.
McCaffrey
He
can
can
run
run.
and catch. And catch punts and kickoff if he wants to. McCaffrey's a more
He's an
all-purpose back than Chubb,
all-purpose.
period.
That's a good point.
I
He's
can
got-
get a mismatch with Chubb. I can motion him out of the backfield and dare you put a linebacker on Christian McCaffrey. I'm about to say his
Right.
father name, Ed McCaffrey.
Chubb can't
So,
really catch the ball.
He can't
like
do what Christian
McCaffrey.
can do.
No, that's true.
No.
That's true.
He's a better runner than
He
him.
can be a better runner all he
might
wants
be a
to.
better runner.
That's
He might
fine.
be a better
That's
runner.
it. That's
But
all I
I'm
wanted
gonna
to
take
say.
the balance over just one. I'm
Right.
gonna take the balance. I'm gonna take a
That's all I'm
two-way over. I'm gonna take a two-way over a one-dimensional any day.
Yeah. Well,
He's more valuable to the team. I can do more. I can do more with him.
let me ask you this. Now the Cardinals were not the Cardinals. Obviously, they didn't
McCaffrey for
have,
Heisman. I mean, McCaffrey for Mayor.
yeah, McCaffrey is awesome. But the Cardinals lost their main quarterback, so they had Colt McCoy in
And
there.
receiver, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, so they weren't the real Cardinals, facing them.
Man, listen, to get it straight, Cardinals had nothing.
Nothing.
They couldn't
Nothing.
do anything.
Nothing.
Yeah, but
It's
they're still a good
dependent.
team.
They're
They're
still a
very
good team. They're still a good team. They're
Contender,
going to make it to the
Super Bowl
playoff, and they're
contender.
still going to contend. I agree with you.
They should have beat
They're
the
a contender.
Packers if A.J.
Now-
Green turned around.
Now, my thing is this.
That's true.
This game, Panthers all the way. Cam Newton, debut. Hey, epic moment, Cam. My boy.
Yep.
I love it.
I think it's great, yeah. We'll see what happens with the Panthers and going forward. That'll be interesting. And the Cardinals will get their quarterback back, and we'll see what happens.
All
I
right,
think they're going to be great coming with Cam. I think it's going to be
yeah,
a
it's
shift.
a scheme, you know.
Huh?
It's going to be a shift. Panthers are going to shift.
You think that they'll eventually start Cam?
They're
Yes,
eventually going to start Cam.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see how the team was operating when he was in the game?
Yeah. It was.
Man, they was
I
like-
was
They were
thinking
so
it was his-
excited.
I was thinking it was his old team, and he
No,
knows.
it's like he said. It's like the players were excited to have him back.
It was like it's like family.
So
I think he's been humbled a little bit, maybe. And
No, he's had a chip on his shoulder for the past couple of years. That's the thing with him. Chip on his shoulder,
Can
something
he
to
be
prove.
humbled?
And he's been working. He's been working his.
I don't necessarily.
what
I
off?
won't say Cam been humble. He's already been humble. My thing is Cam voiced his opinion on how he feel. He's gonna tell you how he feel, what's on his mind. Now, with this being said, the system is fits him better than the Patriots. Period.
It does. Well, it's his old team. He knows it. He knows how to work it, and it's going to be interesting. The Panthers are going to be interesting with him, and he knows, and he feels good, and he's got a lot of talent.
And number 6, I keep forgetting his name. I don't know his name is Walker, whatever. The quarterback who's starting now over.
Yeah.
He will be a great number 2 coming off the bench because he can.
He can run.
He can run.
Oh,
He
Yeah.
can run. He was doing so much stuff in the preseason. I'm like, golly, who is this kid?
Can we now talk about the bad man who went up on Sunday Night Football?
Who?
Threw for
Oh my God.
400 yards,
Who?
5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
Mahomes was a guy.
No,
Mahomes.
he's coming back.
Mahomes
Let's just
is
say
also back.
the Chiefs are back.
I don't say they back, but he
say they're back.
arrived. He found himself.
By the way, he needed
came out the
that.
rut.
He needed that game.
It's a spark.
Yeah.
It's a
that
spark,
game.
man. It's a
Yeah.
spark.
He needed that game. Well, what about the Vikings Chargers? I want to talk a little bit about that because Kirk Cousins had 294 yards and 2 TDs. He's found life.
Let's talk about Let's talk about Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, 143 yards. Yeah, pretty good.
Jetter.
Yeah, and the Vikings have always had great
Hey.
receivers.
He's still, even though he's young, I still feel like he's still more of a premier receiver.
Who?
He's a Justin Jefferson. I think that this year it's more of a laid back year for him because now they got film on him, so they can know how to contain him.
And Dalvin Cook had 94 yards, yeah. And when Dalvin Cook gets 94 yards, you can free up Cousins to look for Jefferson.
Cousins will get you the ball.
Dalvin is another running back that I feel like they don't talk highly about.
No, I don't hear much about him. And he's
having
great.
silent.
Who?
He's a silent killer.
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook.
And you're right. He doesn't get the
He's a silent
recognition
assassin,
that he
man.
probably should be getting.
He's a silent assassin.
And they were looking good. I mean, Vikings ticking down the Chargers. Herbert didn't have a very good game. He had one interception.
Man, I know. Herbert. Sure.
Herbert did not.
I love
really have
Herbert.
a
That's
great-
my boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
like
love
him.
Herbert. I
He's
love
got a lot
Herbert.
of talent.
Yeah,
but
I like
he didn't
Herbert.
have. And Keenan Allen had 98 yards.
Hey, smooth road, Keenan.
Keenan's great.
Yeah.
He's great. But the Vikings had 278 yards to 171. I mean, they blew him out, really. I mean, in terms of that, in terms of passing yards. And then, I mean, they had the ball 36 minutes to 23 on the Chargers.
They control the clock.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, the Vikings are, I don't know if they're going to come, but that's a pretty good win for them.
Chargers are a good team.
And Chargers are a great team. Chargers are a great team. I think that's a good win for the Vikings. I don't know. I hope that they don't do anything, but listen, I don't think Kirk Cousins.
You said that you hope they don't do anything.
I don't want it because they're in the Packers. I mean, I don't want them.
Listen to him. There it is, right there.
I don't want them to catch fire. Are you kidding me? No way.
If they catch fire, it's gonna be some trouble.
Tough. Yeah,
it's gonna be tough. Absolutely, gonna be tough.
I do not want the Vikings to catch fire, but that's a good game by Cousins, and that's a solid performance by the Vikings. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
You never know, man, in these Sunday games.
Yeah, you never know. No, I wanted to bring up one other guy that got traded. I can't remember his name. Oh, well, never mind. Le'Veon Bell. We already talked about him. Oh, Ertz. Ertz got traded. Zach Ertz.
To where?
To the Cardinals, right?
Yeah, to the Cardinals.
That was a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
That was like
it was?
Yeah, a month and a half ago.
All right,
Well, it's pretty good for the Cardinals.
That's pretty good for the Cardinals.
Yeah, they didn't really have a tight end, to be honest.
Yeah, adding Ertz was
That's pretty good.
It's a good addition. It's a good addition to the offense.
Yeah. Any other burning desires, Leo? Who do we got next weekend for Cleveland?
Honestly, I've checked out. I don't even know.
He's depressed.
Dang, Baker, you got my man checking out on the team. Wow. But hey, listen, you still got your Chubbs, guy.
You still got your Chubbs.
The Russia Chubber. You got Chubbs. Oh, you don't believe in Chubbs?
Oh,
What'd you just say?
Chubb's the backbone of the team, but like, I want Baker out of Cleveland, bro. Because if we had someone like Deshaun
That
Watson,
is turning your back on your main guy.
Oh my
That's shocking.
gosh.
All right,
This
anyway.
kid is so bad.
That's our show. Come back next week, and
You
Leo will be turning on Baker Mayfield again.
You actually want Baker out of Cleveland?
Offsides.